But I do think this is a weakness of the Deion structure and having his son there. In that, like, I do think, like, the marketing of the program gravitates to Shador and him. And the money goes to them. He's got a legitimate problem of how do we spread this money to make it attractive to these other guys. You know, that you could do that. Now, I mean, the same token, Georgia and Alabama and Clemson and whoever could be like, you're our guy. You're the 5-star offensive tackle. We're going to set this up for you and do all this for you. And they're going to say, yeah, Deion's only worried about his kid and maybe Travis. Like, he ain't going to worry about you.
All right, so of course, Colorado, Deion and Colorado's hitting a rough patch here. We've been tracking that. And two things here. So right now he's saying this is the toughest stretch of his life, which you could kind of understand and agree because
keep in mind
he has done a lot of losing.
Bear in mind though, this is a guy who attempted suicide, saying that this is the toughest stretch of his life.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah, that's meaning something. That definitely means something.
Yeah. And
then also he's on the other end. He's saying that Colorado won't buy any players to lure and recruits with money. But now that's I think that's important. That's big too because I think that's something he didn't just say that just to say it. I think that's something he's dealing with currently because a lot of players we just assume that Deion is going to get all the top players, but these top players are getting a lot of fucking money thrown at them.
Yeah,
a lot of those guys are going to go where the bag is at. Well, over just I'm going to go because Deion is here.
Couple things of that. It's literally a replay of what Saban said about Jimbo Fisher a couple years ago.
That he was just paying all these guys.
But and Deion.
Armstrong, we strong.
Yeah, Jameis, I like it. Yeah. But the irony is that Deion was the one who called Saban on the move and said, Nick's not talking to Jimbo. He ain't talking to me. He's talking to his boosters, telling them they need to come up with more money. And you could take it the same way. But I do think this is a weakness of the Deion structure and having his son there. In that, like, I do think, like, the marketing of the program gravitates to Shador and him. And the money goes to them. He's got a legitimate problem of how do we spread this money to make it attractive to these other guys. You know, that you could do that. Now, I mean, the same token, Georgia and Alabama and Clemson and whoever could be like, you're our guy. You're the 5-star offensive tackle. We're going to set this up for you and do all this for you. And they're going to say, yeah, Deion's only worried about his kid and maybe Travis. Like, he ain't going to worry about you. Yeah. You know, he's not worried about you. You're going to be blocking with 4 guys that, like, can't hold water. And it's going to be effective. There's no evidence to the contrary. Yeah. But I do think because he called it himself a couple years ago when the shoe was on the other foot.
Speaking of the devil.
Damn right.
I just saw you in the comments.
He was in the car pounding that out.
Yeah. Whoa. Wow.
Take that back.
Okay, Judas.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say with Dia, I think he's signaling to the boosters that they need to come up with more if they want to compete. That's what I'm taking it as, face value.
Now, I know you're not the biggest sports person, but you've been tracking this Deion thing a little bit, right? You've been watching the mayhem.
Yeah, I know a little bit what's going on now. I just don't be watching sports like that, but I do know about, like, him moving from Colorado to where he at now?
No. He went from Jackson State.
Jackson State to Colorado.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, I just know a little bit.
Very little bit.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel a little bad because I came on midstream, probably after they went by 3-0, 3-1 or whatever, and I was like, I kind of hope for a derail here a little bit because I'm a Gator fan. I want Deion.
Got one.
I know I got, and I got what I wanted, but then now I feel a little bad because I want Deion. It's one of those things where I want you to be good, I just don't want you to be better than me, type of thing. So I'm a Gator fan, right? So I want Deion to be well, I just don't want him to be better than me.
Well, that's exactly.
And you even worse than the fucking Gators.
No, that's exactly what you guys have 5 wins and he has 4.
Yeah, that's real.
Why are you Gator fans? Because you went to BCU? Closer to the Gators or something?
Closer to the Gators.
That's right.
You were a big Aaron Hernandez guy, right?
Huge.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right, though. I'm a Wildcat and a Gator, man.
I'm a Tallahassee, animal, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
FSU family, you dig?
Same here.
Yeah, man. Kazoo tight. what needs to happen after this? You know what I mean? Like, because they're already how many point underdogs this weekend? So who do they play? Arizona?
No, they've already
they
got
got?
beat by Arizona. I can't remember, but they're going to lose, and they're going to be 4-8. And I just think this has really gotten to a tough spot because they didn't have enough success this year, and there's enough sort of cracks in this thing, and I think there's enough for the media and the other recruiting people to kind of dig at Deion and kind of score some points against him, quite literally.
Yeah.
And I don't see the easy pathway out. I mean, I was mildly amused with the idea of him going for the Texas A&M job because they already have a good line on both sides of the ball.
I don't think he can move again, especially without seceding here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But no, I mean,
Utah.
I wouldn't put
Utah. Yeah.
Oh, they'll lose to Utah. Utah's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't see a clear pathway for him. And again, I think, when he's saying this is the toughest stretch of his life and stuff like that, this ain't fun anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know that, what can he do to turn it around? I think he's making the call to the boosters to say, we need some linemen, and you need to pay whatever it takes to get them here.
Some damn money.
As far as that goes. And if you get a line, maybe you could compete. But, I mean, what they've proven over the course of this year is that they are so far behind on both sides of the ball in the trenches that it's hard to win against any credible opponent.
No, that's for sure. That's for sure.